Thank you, Miri. Well, today is the final day of Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And our next guest, she grew up in the squalor of a Shanghai shantytown during the Great Chinese Famine.
She's now written a book about her experiences that her mother has told her. She's quite the storyteller we hear. Welcome to longtime newspaper columnist and author Qin Sun Stubis. So good to have you here.
Thank you for being here.
Before we started the interview, we were hearing all of it. She's a fascinating woman, absolutely fascinating. But what made you want to write particularly this book and kind of the hidden Chinese history?
Well, I didn't know I was part of the history. When I was growing up, I was born in a shanty town, and you won't believe it, but it was an upside down, like a little wooden box my father built for the family. And my toys were like stones and sticks. And my companions were like rats and chickens roaming in the rubble. And we were really, really poor, darn poor. But I always felt I was rich with love and stories. And every night when my mother took us to bed, put us to bed, and she would tell us all sorts of stories. And they were fantastical, but they were real stories of the family's rich past. So she would tell stories of pirates roaming the sea, the babies sold in opium dens, found the jewels and lost the fortunes, glorious lives and gruesome death, and stories that wove into the book. But I didn't really think very much of all those things when I was little. It was just life, existence, right?
Yeah.
You wonder when the next meal is gonna be, whether you're gonna be having like one morsel of food and then tucked in into bed, and just hoping the next day will be a better day. But when my parents passed away and I was grief-stricken about 20-some years ago, all the stories just flooded back to me.
Everything she told you.
Everything. And I felt that I was in a different world, the world that I kind of haven't thought about for a long time.
Right. Yeah.
And to cope with the grief, like many people do, you write a diary, you do something. I started to write down those stories. But being a Chinese, spent 30 years speaking Chinese, I could not type and write at the same time. So I actually hand wrote many of the stories, most of the book, in little notebooks.
Wow.
Before I put that together.
How it came to be here. I know people will be so interested in reading the book and hearing these stories. It's a fascinating journey that you've been on. How did education for you change where you got to today once you came to the United States?
Education was everything from day one. My mother was a girl brought up in old China. Girls were not allowed to go to school. So my grandfather tutored her at home. She always wanted to go to school. So she was very happy that we could go to school and learn things. So she told us, don't cook, don't clean the floor, don't do anything. Go and read an extra book. And she believed that the books would take us out of the miserable life that we had. And she wanted us to have education, and I actually was very lucky. The year China started called the National Entrance Examination for college, it rooted from the imperial exams. So I got to take an exam and ended up being a very prestigious language college in China called the Shanghai Institute of Foreign Languages, and where I actually majored in English and literature, and I fell in love with everything from Shakespeare sonnets to Wordsworth, Longfellow, the American writers, English writers, Louisa May Alcott, and now when I came to the United States, I could come and go to the graduate school, and at the University of Arizona, I got my degree in communications, and it all helped. Everything helped.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you've written a book.
I know. Now you're sharing all these stories. What I love about this book is it's some of the most overlooked and misunderstood parts about your country too. So there's so many stories out there, and I know you're going to have a book signing that Ellen's going to tell us about.
So,
but thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
If you would like to learn more, Once Our Lives is out tomorrow, so you can buy the book tomorrow. Also, there will be a book signing at 3 p.m. on June 10th. It will be at Politics and Prose. You can hear more stories. I know
Amazing
this is just
stories.
the beginning.
I will be reading excerpts and talking about a
great.
lot of things. And most important, this book is about ordinary people. They lived extraordinary lives through very extraordinary times. You know, the
Yes,
Great
the things
Famine,
you've
the
seen.
war, the revolution.
So much.
there's a lot.
Incredible.
Thank you.
Ching, thank you
for
very
sharing
much.
your story
Thank
with us.